Erwin Lutzer is joining us today here on the Meeting House on Faith Radio. The name of the book is No Reason to Hide, Standing for Christ in a Collapsing Culture. This is the Meeting House 2023 National Religious Broadcasters Convention in Orlando. All right, so the book is called No Reason to Hide. Tell me about the inspiration for that title, please.
Well, that title came about because Christians are hiding. You know, it used to be, Bob, we used to be able to live in what was called the mushy middle. In other words, we didn't have to declare ourselves. But we're living in a day and age when that's gone. For example, if you have a PhD in chemistry and you're a good teacher, you could get a job at one of our universities. Nowadays, you're told that you can't get that job unless you agree with the prevailing orthodoxies, unless you are willing to go with the LGBTQ plus community, unless you are willing and comfortable with multiple pronouns, you can't do it. So many Christians are beginning to hide. What they are doing is they are hiding their convictions for the sake of their job. Now, we have to be very sympathetic because, you know, they have to earn a living and so forth. But the question that we have to ask is, to what extent are we going to actually compromise our convictions and go along with the culture? Let me give you another example. A school teacher in Chicago, in the Chicago school system, told me, he said, I was told it is not enough if I simply tolerate same-sex marriage. If I don't celebrate it, I could lose my job. So the question that he has to ask is, where is the line? Am I able to celebrate what God has condemned? But the other question, Bob, that I think is so critical is this. How is the church going to respond? Let's suppose that he were to lose his job. Is the church going to come around and say, well, we know you have a wife and children, we're going to help take care of you and so forth? We're even going to have to rethink church. But the idea of no reason to hide is that if we look at things from the standpoint of eternity, we should live our convictions, take the consequences that people have done throughout the years, and simply live with eternity in mind. You know, just before this interview, I came from a luncheon where there was a man from China and also someone from the Ukraine. But the man from China was talking about the kind of persecution that the Chinese people receive. And there are plenty of Christians in China who do not submit to the regime. And in doing that, they sometimes are put to death and whatever, but they are willing to, because even that does not give them a reason to hide, but to say we declare ourselves for Jesus Christ.